Hey there, it's Mike Metcalf again with Lanark Equipment, and today we're here to talk to you about some of the differences in our residential lineup for our zero turns. We're going to talk about who these are for, how you can decide between them, and some of the different accessories that are available. Stick around and we'll get right into it. In front of us here, we've got a few of our residential mowers. We've got the 200 series on my right, your left, and the 400 series on my left, your right. These are a taste of the spectrum of what's available in the residential market. So when we're talking residential, we're talking guys that are not cutting 12 to 14 hour days. This is your average homeowner. And if I were to break it down, good, wrong, or bad, right, whatever, if I was to break it down, I would say that with the 200 series, if you're in the 1 to 5 acre sort of camp, this is a great place for you. If you're in the 5 to 10 acre camp, you want to be over here in the 400 series. Once we start talking bigger than 10 acres, we are really going to want to start leaning into more of the commercial models, and that's a conversation for a different day. But when we're talking residential, I'm thinking 10 acres and under. You're cutting the grass once or twice a week. If that's you, these are where we want to be looking. And that split is sort of right here on the 5 acre mark. And that's where some people get caught not knowing whether they want to look at a 200 series or at a 400 series, and we want to talk a little bit about the differences between them and where that break is, and then we can start talking about some of the different options and configurations that are available. Because although I'm showing 4 machines here that are very different, there's about 17 different zero turns in this lineup, so there's a lot of different deck sizes and options that we can talk about to get into specifics. So we'll start off here with, I've got a 242, actually I've got two 242s right here, and this is a great way to show you why we have some of the differences in price points to allow everyone to get into this market. Zero turns are one of the most popular grass cutters that are available right now, especially if that's all you're trying to do. If you're just cutting the grass, you're not looking to blow snow or have any other attachments or implements in terms of like tillers and loaders and things like that, then zero turns are really where everyone seems to want to be these days. So I've got 2 models that are essentially the same model, but there are some clear differences between them. So right here, this is our Kohler model. So it has a Kohler engine in it, which is a great powerhouse. We've never had any issues with the Kohler engine, but it is a little bit of a cheaper price point for people to get into still a 4-foot cut. Now, where we're able to save some of that dollars and cents is in some of the features. So on this particular machine with a Kohler engine, we have a solid roll bar and a non-suspension seat. So if your main obstacles don't include low-hanging branches or that you don't have to get into some kind of low shed or something like that, maybe having a folding roll bar isn't that important to you. So you can save a little bit of money by not having a folding roll bar, whereas if you have lots of trees you're trying to get in or storage issues or anything like that, having a folding roll bar is going to be absolutely necessary to get you in tight to those obstacles. So you really want to have an honest look at your property and figure out where your pinch points are going to be to help figure out which model is going to be the best suited for you. So again, Kohler engine comes with a solid roll bar and a non-suspension seat, although we can add a suspension seat to this. Standard factory configuration comes without. Or you can look at the Kawasaki, which is a little bit more of a premium option. It's going to come standard with that folding roll bar, as well as a suspension seat that you can adjust for your weight so that you have that little bit of extra comfort. And that's where we're kind of starting to lean into the higher acreage points in this 200 series that, hey, if you're out there for a couple hours cutting, having a suspension seat might be really important to you. Maybe you've got back issues or things like that, and having that little bit of extra cushion back there will make a big difference in the long term. I mean, even going back many years before suspension seats were an option on these, we used to have to take 10 or 15 pounds out of the rear tires to give you some kind of suspension, which comes with its own issues as well. So certainly if a back is an issue, or you have a bumpier property, or you just want to be able to cut super fast and not feel it, going to something with a Kawasaki and having that suspension seat is going to pay for itself in spades. Now, another thing that we want to talk about is some of the different deck options. So when we're in the 200 series, we can go as small as a 42-inch cut and go as big as a 54-inch cut, and they've matched horsepowers with those deck sizes. So as you go to a bigger deck, you're going to be looking at a slightly bigger engine to power that blade system and make sure that we get the blade tip speed that zero turns are known for, so that you maintain that quality of cut even with high ground speed. When we're talking about the 42-inch mower, I don't have one here to show you. It only comes standard with the Kawasaki engine with the folding roll bar. But it is a 42-inch cut, and they are a smaller drive tire as well. So when we're talking about a 42-inch mower, you really want to be into that sort of smaller town property, not really cutting in the ditches, things like that, where traction is going to be paramount. If it's mostly a flat, smaller property, the 232 with the 42-inch cut is a great option for you. But out here in the country, we do find that most people are starting at a 4-foot cut because it does give them that bigger drive wheel and a little bit more robust frame. And that's really where you want to be if you're into those bigger properties. So now we were going to move on to the 400 series. So as you can see, I've got two very similar looking machines here, but they're actually quite different. And it's one of the things that we want to point out. So even though we're talking about both a 452i and a 422, we're talking about the same size cut on the same frame. But where they're going to start separating here is on the anything with an I in it, so a 452i being that model, is we're also talking about a fuel injected engine. So if you've ever had to deal with using a choke to start a gas engine or anything like that, you know that sometimes there's a bit of a trick to how long you leave that choke on, when you use it, when the machine is warm or cold, and things like that. With a fuel injected, it's just start the machine. You don't have to worry about a carburetor, you don't have to worry about a choke. It's a much easier design. So again, we're starting to get into that heavier residential, not quite commercial yet, but still heavier residential. And comparatively to the 200 series that we were already talking about, we're now into a slightly bigger frame tractor. We're talking about bigger wheels on the front, bigger wheels on the back. In many cases, we're going to be talking more horsepower. So it's like I said, it's just that little incremental step from true residential to now maybe small estate, you know, acreage up to about 10 acres-ish. And I say that, but I have to say it a little tongue-in-cheek only because I do actually have a few of my commercial customers that are running 400 series mowers with great success. So it's not that they aren't built very heavy or anything like that. These absolutely can take the punishment, certainly more so than the 200 series because you do have that little heftier build everywhere. Even on the lift mechanism for the deck, it's just a little bit beefier. So everything is just geared towards that slightly larger acreage. But as I said, I do have some commercial guys running these with great success. It's just really not what the design was for. So if you know that you're going to be a little tougher on things, you've got that tougher property, a little bit more bumpy, you know, maybe you like cutting the grass a couple times a week because you hate seeing the dandelions, you might want to take something more in the 400 series and get something that's a little bit beefier. In terms of deck size options between them, in the 400 series, they don't quite go down to the 42. The smallest deck we can get is a 48-inch, running all the way through to 60 inches. So again, if you've got that bigger acreage, having a bigger deck means less time cutting the grass, so you can get back to doing other things that you want to do. As much as these are a lot of fun to run, people don't generally want to spend their entire weekends cutting, which is why you're choosing a zero turn in the first place. You're getting that ground speed, you're getting that maneuverability, so you can get the job done and get on to the things that you'd prefer to be doing on the weekend. So we've talked about some of the differences between the 200 and the 400 series, but let's talk about some of the similarities as well now. So to start off, whether you're looking in the 200 series or the 400 series, you're going to be getting a commercial quality mower deck. Every deck option in this entire line is a welded deck. It is not stamped out of steel, it is welded and fabricated together to make a much stronger mower deck. And the reason why this is so important is that a lot of people are buying a zero turn as their first mower. They've never had a conventional mower, they've never had anything else. They're learning how to drive a zero turn for the first time. And there is a bit of a trick to it, a little bit of a learning curve, especially when you start feeling how snappy the hydraulics are when you're driving. That first couple times going around a tree, it's not uncommon to tap the tree a little bit as you're coming around, as you're learning what that radius is and how to control those drives. So having a welded deck is going to give you a lot less headache down the road because it can handle a few of those taps without folding. Whereas a stamped deck, not so much. So having that welded commercial quality deck throughout the entire line means regardless if you're the 232 with a 42-inch cut on a really small piece of property, or you're going all the way up to a 60-inch 400 series machine, you've got a commercial quality deck that can handle the abuse. So that's number one, and I think is very, very important. So that's a similarity between all of them. Another thing that's similar is some of the options that you can add on. Whether you're looking at a light kit on the front, or an OCDC kit. An OCDC kit is basically, it gives you a control right from one of the drive levers to be able to quickly close off the chute. So if you were trying to cut around a garden bed or something like that, and you don't want to fire a bunch of your clippings into the gardening bed, you can quickly close it, get past the obstruction, and open it up again. So rather than having a full-on mulching deck, which permanently closes that deck off, it kind of gives you the best of both worlds, where you can temporarily close it and then open it again and keep on spreading. So an OCDC kit is certainly a great option if that's sort of the lay of your land. Light kits are great if you're one of those guys that works so hard that you can't get to cutting your grass until it's dark out. There are also kits that we can add onto these, which will give you a crank on the front, allowing you to crank the front of the mower up completely to get underneath and service that deck, whether that's to scrape the grass out, sharpen the blades, remove the blades for replacement, whatever the case is. It gives you quick access to getting underneath there. Another thing that's similar between every model is they all have a plate that's removable so that you can get clear access to the top of the mower to make sure that you can grease the spindles, blow out any of the debris that's building up on top of the belts, anything like that, to make maintenance a lot easier, as opposed to having to climb under there or take the deck off itself. So that's another similarity. We can also add canopies to these to keep you out of the sun, which is a great little feature, or if you happen to get caught back there and it starts to rain, to allow you to get dry to get back into that garage. You can add lights to the roll bar, but the key with knowing that is this is a safety structure. It's designed to save you in case there ever was the unfortunate accident of a rollover, which is almost never happens, but it's something you want to be aware of. So this is a safety structure. You do not want to degrade the structure in any way. You don't want to weld to it or drill through it or anything like that. So if you're going to be adding extra lights, always go around. Clamp to, not through. Okay, so we got canopies, we got lights, we got lift mechanisms. You can put trailer hitches on these outside of the standard pin if you want to have a specific ball on there for pulling a lawn sweeper. So even though these are essentially a grass cutter, there's still quite a bit that you can do to these to upgrade them and personalize them for your property. So I hope that this has answered some of the questions that you may have had. Certainly these are common questions that I face on a regular basis in terms of trying to help people figure out which is the best machine for them. But as always, the best way to figure that out is to come on out and talk to us, ask your questions directly to us, get on one of these and drive it around the property and see how you feel to make sure that we're getting you into the right product for your application. So if you want to come out and see us, the best place to do that is at 6253 Highway 43 in Perth, right between Perth and Smiths Falls, or give us a call if you can't make it out right away at 613-264-0485. As always, leave your comments down below. Let us know where we can bring better videos to you in the future, or specific videos that you're looking for. Leave that comment, like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.